Cheers, I do, buckaroos. How the heck are you, man? It is frigid here. Apparently, Southwest Missouri has become the new Arctic. Anyways, it's cold, man. Wow. So I decided to pop this one. This was from a friend, the Brew Guru, and although it is a Christmas beer, it's cold, man. And like I said in other videos, a smart man would probably cellar beers like this. But when somebody gives me a beer, I really think I ought to enjoy it and drink it. I'm just kind of the way I'm set up, man. I just would feel rude to sell her a gift anyway. Feest Noel quadruple ale brewed with spice. 3 Taverns Brewing. I've never had anything from them. Released in 2020, aged 10%. Feest Noel is merriment in a glass, a special Christmas ale meant to evoke joy and mystery. This Belgian style, good lord, I can't read any of that. Quadruple uses dark roasted malts, imported Belgian. Belgian candy sugar. There we go. Man, I'm having a hard time reading their lettering here. We're just going to go on with it, shall we? Hey, man. It's a quad, right? Feast Noel, quadruple ale, brewed with spice, 10%. This one isn't barrel aged, but I am a fan of barrel aged quads because quads tend to be very fruity and very sweet, and I find that barrel age really helps. But here they've added spice, and that may do the same thing, and we're going to find out. Oh, that nose is beautiful, though. A blend of those roasted malts I talked about. You do feel a little bit of that Belgian candy sugar, but you feel a lot of dark fruits and spice foremost. So dark fruit, I'm going to start with a very dark overripe plum. Certainly some raisin. You might find some date and fig, but I'm not feeling those quite as strong as I am the dark plum and the raisin. Those spice notes are gorgeous, though. Wow, yeah, see, as I drink this, I really get plum now. And it's a very, very dark, overripe plum note that I'm picking up. Those spice notes, I mentioned that Belgian quads tend to be sweet. You've got the addition of that Belgian candy sugar among all those malts and everything else going on. So they do tend to be sweet. And here what happens, though, is that you've got that spice that really helps quell any residual sweetness or any lingering sweetness. Might be a better way to put that. But yes, the first thing I notice is those big plum notes. I'm also finding some raisin in there. You do feel that candy sugar, I ain't gonna lie. It's there, man. It's good, though. You know, there was a time when I was drinking a lot of quads, and I've kind of gotten away from that. Taste buds change as you get older. They kind of evolve. Certain things I like way back when I'm not crazy about now. So I've gotten to where the fruity beers weren't as much my thing. I've gravitated, especially in the wintertime, more to just big stouts, imperial stouts, barrel aged. I love those big roasted malt notes. But every once in a while, there's something just incredible about a good quad when they're done right. This one's pretty damn tasty, I ain't gonna lie. Probably would have been really great if I hung on to it for another year. And the main reason I decided to go ahead was because, I mean, it is, I mean, we're what, I think they said -5, -7, I don't know. It's too cold for me to care at this moment. I ain't going out. There's nothing I need out there. I just hope the folks that have to go out are being safe, right? I mean, restaurants, fast food, well, any kind of restaurant, I should lump them all together. Retail, I mean, those places are merciless. They expect you there no matter what. I spent a lot of years in retail and retail management. Yeah, I mean, you had to be there. Remember, as management, you know, there were times I'd be the only one there. I had to be there to open the store, so sometimes your folks, you know, aren't able to make it. And I had to be honest, I wasn't always, understanding about such things when I was in that position. As I've grown older, I would be more now. But at that moment, I was like, well, hell, I got myself here. You ought to be able to get yourself here. But, it is different. I'm lucky now, though, that the office that I'm in, they decided to close today. So I am going to miss those hours. I'm going to have to find a way to get those hours back. But, I mean, it would have been brutal to try to get out in this. A beautifully done quad. Again, what I get for most, so as far as the fruit notes, I really get mostly plum and some raisin. You might feel some date and fig. It really depends on you. And, each individual tastes everything differently. And a lot of it just depends on your experiences, right? And I've said this about other things. If you've never had certain fruits or flavors, you're not going to interpret them as that, right? So, I mean, if you don't eat a steady diet of date and fig, well, you're not going to taste date and fig. Oh. Oh, mercy. So what I got cooking in there is using some leftover. I had some shrimp. I didn't cook all the shrimp from Valentine's Day a few days back, so I had some pinto beans, so I made some a small batch of refried beans, made some Mexican rice, made my sauce. I'm going to do a version of arroz con camarón. Now, I've looked up different versions on the internet, and none of them showed me what I was looking for. And the reason I say that is because I grew up in Cypress, California, and there was a little Mexican restaurant called Villa Maria. And that was one of their specialties, arroz con camarón. They made it a specific way. And although it probably would be impossible to mimic those exact flavors, I remember what I saw. So that, I'm trying to kind of recreate that in my mind, and then using the flavors that I know I like when I'm cooking Mexican food. So yeah, I'm going to do it a little bit different than most of what the internet recipes are, because I want to get it to, I want to bring back that visual from my youth, I guess. But yeah, there are times I make a whole bag use a whole bag of pinto beans and make refried beans, and I end up with a lot of leftovers. Sometimes we use them all, sometimes we don't. This time I just made 1 cup, do a small batch, enough for dinner, maybe have a small amount of leftovers. The same way with the rice. I made some rice for breakfast. We had chorizo and egg burritos. And the leftover rice is going, you see what I'm doing? Most recipes, they'll kind of cook them all together, right? I'm going to do it a little bit different. Again, I'm trying to create a memory, as it were. I'll let you know how it comes out in a different video. But anyway, what I tell people is for when I make cocktails or food is, the people, you'll post something on social media and someone will say, well, that's wrong. You should do it this way, or you should do it that way, or the cooking police aren't going to show up at your door, man. Food cooking, it should be creativity. Do it any way you want. Create the flavors that you're looking for and not what somebody else thinks they ought to be. So as I work into this, right, those fruit notes become more apparent the more this warms, especially those plum notes. Those plum notes, I mentioned raisin too, but plum really is a star here. And again, for me, it's a very dark, overripe plum. You feel that Belgian candy sugar adding just a little sweetness. I'm not going to say booziness, but you do feel a little bit if you're following me. But the spice notes, they're not heavy, but they do finish right there on the back of your palate, helping to dry everything up. So there you go. It's a beautiful beer. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. Cheers.